Good morning, guys. You can see that I kind of have a new deck going on, and I caught Fizzy and Kashif in the lobby yesterday, and I was like, you know what, I'll try to play Kashif. Kashif's match ended up being weird. We both ended up with shit hands, didn't get to catch Fizzy. But this deck still isn't really done anyway. The novice people aren't giving me enough of a fight, and the expert people are giving me too much of a fight, because this deck is still kind of in the works. But I would really like to thank those of you that, you know, sent me your spare cards your way, those of you that actually weren't using Mime Juniors or, you know, Haunters or Gengars, what have you. Basically anything you didn't need that I kind of needed for this deck, a lot of people sent forward, as well as for my Reshiflosion deck that I have going on the side as well. You know, a lot of people sent me stuff for that, and I'd really like to thank you guys, because both of these are probably around 80 to 90% done, I want to guesstimate. But let's go ahead and talk about the game, what I actually have going on. I end up getting a mulligan on the first turn. And I have a pretty healthy hand at this point now. I just don't want him drawing another card, but that's how it works sometimes. Mime Jr. in the beginning, you know, to get a little bit lower on prizes, so I can use twins on the off chance, you know, that I don't end up getting lucky with the coin flips. I had one game where, okay, I revived my Mime Jr. I think I had 4 Mime Juniors in play total, and I would get heads every fucking time. But that means he stays awake, and then he can kill me off next turn. But he just puts an energy on Vulpix, tries to burn me, doesn't end up working. And I have a Pokemon communication, so I'm going to use that to try to get my Haunter going as soon as possible. As much as I'd want to get Mr. Mime out to start looking at his hand, if I don't have the thing evolved and ready to go for when I need to look at his hand, then it doesn't make much sense. But I'm going to use Sleepy Lost and put a card in the Lost Zone. Now, what the Lost Zone is, it's a discard pile, but with cards you cannot get back. Now, the only way to interact with these cards is with Mew Prime. There's a couple of other cards that will kind of interact based on that. I think Mew is one of the only ones. It's mainly just cards that send him to there. And then there's Lost World, which is what this deck, you know, revolves around. It's a stadium card. Now, what is happening here? Okay, so he evolves his Vulpix, you know, big fucking mode, puts another energy on it, and I believe does his attack, which burns me anyways, regardless of how much damage it does. I kind of wish that Mr. Mime Jr.'s ability would prevent effects as well, but I'm kind of just building up my Haunter in the background. I can now use Sleep Poison on him if I really need to. But what I want to do is I want to catch her out as Reshiram, so that way he needs to put energy on it in order to start attacking. You know, that'll hamper him. It'll buy me a little bit of time since I don't have a Mime Jr. right now. Another one anyway. But I just decided to end my turn right now. I did draw my Gengar, which is fucking fantastic. The other thing I could have done if I didn't get it is I could have used Pokemon Collector, drew an extra Ghastly or something of the sort, and then calmed out for Gengar. That would have worked out as well. But this saves me a step, and, you know, I can use that calm for something useful. If I really need to. I mean, now that I have a Gengar in play, well, I will have one. But if he knows the first thing about my deck / Gengar in general, he's going to want to have these in play. Otherwise, I'm going to snipe him out of his hand. How Gengar works, one of his attacks, the more energy you have on him, the more cards you get to pick out of your opponent's hand. Pokemon cards, anyway. Not trainers or energies. But the more Pokemon you get to pick and stick them in the Lost Zone. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and use Twins because he has drawn one more prize than I have, so he has more prizes than I do at the moment. I decided to get a Lost World and a Mr. Mime, and those are the two I'm really going to need to get my momentum going. I'm going to put down Mr. Mime. His ability is that once per turn we can both look at each other's hands, which will help in, you know, me judging what attack I'm going to use. I really need more Mimes in this deck, so I can look at them post shuffling around with Spiritomb. That's how, you know, having 2 Mimes would work. But I see that he only has 1 Pokemon in his hand. Odds are if I get him to shuffle all that crap out, I'll probably draw a couple more. So I'm kind of doing a blind thing right now. As I mentioned, I do need more Mr. Mime since I could use that second one to check right after. If I'd have known he only had 2, I probably would have used Curse Drop to knock out the Mareep on his bench instead. But there's 2 Pokemon in the Lost Zone now. And now what I can... What am I trying to say? No, I can't do anything. I'm just kind of waiting on him. He just puts an energy and ends his turn. I think I just end up putting another energy on Gengar, and then I'm going to use Pokemon Catcher to go ahead and get out his Zekrom, since that doesn't have any energy on it as well. As you can see, he's not running Reshiflosion first off. He's running like Reshiram, Zekrom with Ninetales and Ampharos, so that kind of works out, I guess. What I want to do right now is get Spiritomb, Mime Jr., and Ghastly. Ghastly, so I can Pokemon Communication it out, I think, was my mindset. No, I guess I just end up putting it on the bench. I took this last night, but I don't really remember anything from it. Thing is, I don't like his hand, since he's probably already played all the Pokemon in it at this point. So I figure I might as well Hurl into Darkness. He's probably going to have a couple. In reality, I should have used Mime to check the hand first to see if it was safe. But it was whatever, you know. I have 4 in the Lost Zone now, meaning I only need 2 more to win at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and put another energy on. I think I start building up my Ghastly? I want to say I do it. Why am I doing that? Okay, so I notice he doesn't have any Pokemon in his hand. That's what I do. So I start putting damage counters on Mary, but doesn't actually count as doing damage for the game. You're just putting damage counters on it. So since it only has 40 HP, I put 4 damage counters on it, 1 damage counter for 10 HP. That means I knock it out and I take a prize. I figure that is the easiest thing to do at this point, since I don't have a way to shuffle his hand around, and he's probably used up all the Pokemon. There is the mindset I was looking for. That's great. So he can hit me with an Outrage right now, which will only do 20, but it means he'll kill me with a Bolt Strike next turn. So I am still kind of worried at this point to see what he's going to do, but I have Mime Jr. to stall for a couple of turns until I get a Seeker, shuffle around his hand, and then go from there. I basically need, well, I have the maximum amount of Seekers in this deck, if I'm not mistaken. So what I do with those is I use those to pick up Spiritomb, put him in his hand, check his hand, see if he has enough Pokemon going on in there. If he doesn't, then I'll put down Spiritomb again to shuffle him around, and then use 1 or more Mimes in order to shuffle things around. But he hits me for 30 and burns me for 20. I'm looking to see what I can Junk Arm. I don't really think there's anything worthwhile, so I just now decide to put my energy on Ghastly, which I should have done last turn. I was just kind of skeptical as to what I wanted to do. But when you switch out, you heal the burn, so I'm not going to be taking that on the bench. And I'm going to try to go for Sleepy Lost to start pulling some stuff off the top of my deck. I don't wake up, which is what I wanted. I want to wake up at the beginning of my next turn. So let me get some of this coffee while we wait for him to do something. Otherwise, it's going to get cold. I think he just put an energy down on something. I don't know. I do take burn damage, but I think I do wake up. So I'm able to do that, which is nice. I can revive my Mime Jr. if I get space on the bench. But for now, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm stuck. My hand is stuck right now. I don't really have anything good. I'm probably going to have to lighten up the load on some of the trainer cards, or add more Pokemon. I'm thinking adding more Pokemon would alleviate this, because I don't nearly have enough that I need. But I see that he puts another Mary down. I can go ahead and snipe that out with a Curse Drop as well, on the off chance I wake up. I think I Sleepy Lost it on the previous turn as well. Didn't end up pulling a Pokemon. I only need 2 more to win. Just keep that in mind. The thing is I can't win during his turn. So if it comes down to it and he has 1 prize left and he's going to knock me out, and I already have 6 Pokemon in the zone, and he kills off my last one to take his last prize first, then he wins. So I have to activate that card during my turn. But what happens here is I don't take burn damage, but I don't wake up. So it's kind of an unfortunate coin flip. But that's fine. I'm actually going to go ahead and communication out my Ghastly. Go ahead and get a Haunter. I think the smart thing to do here would have been to Junk Arm the Revive, get another communication, wait for a Pokemon to come into my hand. Then if it's not Gengar, I can comment out for Gengar. But I'm actually going to go ahead and use Mr. Mime's ability. He does have a Pokemon in there, so I could do that once my Mime Jr. dies. Or, yeah, once it comes in. So I take burn damage and I wake up, which is super, super convenient. I needed a heads-on burn and a heads-on wake up, which is not going to happen. I think I make a bit of a stupid play here. I think it was in this game or another one that I should have sent in my Spiritomb to take the hit instead, because I'm building up a fucking Haunter. I guess my mindset is that as soon as I pull Gengar, I can evolve it and heal the burn if it's already out. And I only need 2 more in the thing anyway, so there's no way he can kill me off unless he gets 3 energies on... I think what he can do right here is use Heat Acceleration and then put 3 fire energies on Zekrom, or not Zekrom, Reshiram. But I think he actually has enough energies on Zekrom to the point where he can take me out with a Bolt Strike anyway, so bit of a misplay here, but you know, I can come back from it. Since he has enough to retreat, he's probably going to send that thing out, and he does have 3. So he's going to take me out. Not a big deal. I still have some wiggle room in that he has 3 prizes left. I have I think 1 more Pokemon to put in the Lost Zone. But for now, I need to buy some time, so I'm actually going to bring in Spiritomb, and I believe revive my Mime Jr., put the energy on Spiritomb to retreat it, because I don't want it out, and then use Mime Jr. to stall for a little bit of time. So a lot of these Pokemon are very low retreat cost, which is what I really like about this deck. It gives you the freedom to do what you really want to. Mime Jr. has no retreat cost. Ghastly has one, but when you evolve it, it's lighter for some reason, so it actually doesn't have a retreat cost. I don't think Mr. Mime has a retreat cost. Well, if it does, it might have one, so it's very low, you know, minimal impact. So I can use Catcher to bait them into having stuff with higher retreat costs, and then I can switch around accordingly. I do wake up, which is kind of the main stall thing I was going for. And I'm looking. I'm kind of looking to see what has the highest retreat cost and the least amount of energy. I think I just end up just going for the Sleepy Lost right now, because I'm not really in a good spot. But I do get the Vulpix into the Lost Zone, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think is my last one. So, do I count? I think I count right here. But the thing is now that I have 6 Pokemon in the Lost Zone and I have Lost World out, that's it. It's game. Unless if he were to somehow kill 3 of my Pokemon at the same time, he kills 1, which is to be expected. But it's game at this point. So I send out Gengar, and you'll see that the Lost World card is actually glowing at this point. Double click it twice, and it says I used a special card to win after this. So that's kind of how this deck works. I hit a little bit of snags because I don't have enough Pokemon for it. But you guys wanted to see a different deck. You guys provided me with it. I'm more than happy to make videos with it. I think I have one more video sitting on my desktop that I took from last night. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you're welcome to leave it a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. We will have many, many more adventures with ghosts and stuff in the future. It can somewhat tango with Reshifusion, not too potently, but, you know, it does better than my grass deck does, to say the least, because type weakness and whatnot. And then the third deck that I have is a Reshifusion itself, which is still kind of under construction. And I could run one of those to show you how potent they are. But for now, I kind of want to run this deck. It's a little bit... it's pretty fun. So, we have that going. I'm going to upload this morning with my battle video. You know, just to thank you guys, you know, for all the cards that I actually did end up getting my way that I needed. You know, those of you that watch my TCGO videos, you'll get more TCGO videos, you know. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Funny thing about my back, it's located on my cock. No, it's not. It's just located on my videos or my cards. So, you do your thing, and I will see you guys later.